Mr. Cam, we are gathered here today to talk about one of the pain points for guys and women, I guess, in dating, which is hypotheticals and shoulds. Examples like, oh, I should have hit on that girl that I just walked past, or she didn't want to date me, but maybe if I'd said something different, like, oh God, I should have said something different. I should have done a better job.
I shouldn't have paid for the drink. It makes me look like a simp, and she doesn't
I
respect me
shouldn't
unless
have
we
done
split
this.
it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have invited her back to my
I
place.
should have kissed her. I shouldn't have kissed her.
The shoulds, man, they're painful as fuck. And like we see so many people living in this like hypothetical timeline. Maybe I'll show on the screen your favorite graphic that you made. When you're living in the hypothetical, like you're literally not living in the real world. Like you're not living in reality when you sit there saying, I should have done this. It's like, can you jump to that hypothetical timeline? Like, can you jump into that universe where you said the thing that you wish you said? Like, no, you can't. And so anytime spent thinking about it is delusion.
Especially when you're like inexperienced and have no real like experience of it, and it's coming from you see it a lot in everything, not just dating. Like beginners in everything, they like double triple guess everything they do because it's like a sign of inexperience and a sign of
Mm,
like not having been in those situations a lot, that you double guess everything. I think the biggest thing you and I have learned is like not everything is your fault, and like some things just go wrong sometimes there's no
mm,
vibe,
mm,
sometimes like a lot of things just are outside of your control, and understanding that relieves a lot of the like need to like go over this, and instead what we do is focus on you know giving back to the people who show us a lot more like positive energy back in dating, especially focusing on the girls that are easier. You and I are big on like focusing on like fuck yes girls rather than
mm.
like trying to make maybes a yes, or trying to guys who are like, oh yeah, game will get you any girl that's like a no to start with, but then she like warms up to you, and it's like maybe like you and I are not like like we aren't clairvoyant. We don't know that like a girl who's like not that interested in you might eventually become interested in you if you like keep on trying, keep on like being there for her. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe you have sick game, but like there's also like just so many unknowns. Like I can't fully like break down reality and see where all the causation goes, and like I can't read their mind. You can't read a girl's mind is a big one as well. Like you don't know
Yep.
why like she canceled the second date. You don't know why she ghosted you. You don't actually know the reason. You're making up reasons, and a lot of guys jump to the negatives to like
Hmm.
beat themselves up about it. So
And
a
then
lot of it. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, and then they put so much effort or so much belief in their own assumptions. Like they will say, I should have hit on that girl in the coffee shop. Why? And they'll say, well, because like, I bet it would have gone well. I bet if I'd asked to kiss her, I'd be sleeping with her. Like I missed out on this lay because I didn't do X, Y, or Z. And it's like, you don't know that you would have slept with her. In fact, if we look at the numbers game and statistics, statistically speaking, you wouldn't have slept with her. And so all this time
Yeah.
spent beating yourself up and saying, I should have been more perfect and then I would have slept with her. It's like, no, statistically, you probably wouldn't have slept with her. It's a numbers
No.
game. So you didn't miss out
Especially if
on
you're like
anything.
inexperienced dude. If you're like an inexperienced
Yep.
dude who's like nervous to shit and not very calm. Like part of being smooth is just being calm. And like being calm with
Mm-hmm.
a girl when maybe you've cold approached and talked to like five girls in your life, is not gonna happen. So like yeah, just understand, especially this is like especially for beginners. I will give more credence to guys trying to like look at what they do with what they're doing and like try and alter and change things, to guys who are significantly further down the road and have got like hundred, like the guys we talk to have been in the game for ages and they've got like hundreds and thousands, like thousands of dates. They've been doing a lot of stuff online, they've been doing a lot of stuff in cold approach. When they look at what they're doing and they break down, like what can I do here? Like, is there stuff I can do that like is better for retention? Is it that they have like experience and like, more than just random guessing to rely on. So it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
different. But like the people we seek having those conversations with themselves are not those people. You know what I mean? They are the guys who are like virgins or very inexperienced. They're going on their first Tinder or Hinge dates they've ever been on, and we're trying to help them through it. And it's like, no, like where are you bringing this hypothetical like analysis from exactly? You're pulling it out of your ass,
Correct.
and like you're using it to hit yourself in the face with. That's all you're doing here. You're just doing it to like beat yourself up, and like
Mm.
it's like painfully obvious that that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of my advice is usually just chill out, focus on the next date. That's so much of our advice. It's just like Like, don't worry about it. Focus on what you got out of this. Like, you got experience. Like, you got the gratitude of, like, you be grateful for what you had. Next go, next date. The next one will be better. The next one will be an experience that improves you further. That's what we focus on.
Dude, yeah. And I think the timing of this is fucking sensational because we literally just had one of the guys in our coaching group, in our VIP coaching group right now, who said, I should. So he's using those shoulds. Like I gave him some advice before his date and he didn't have enough time to read it because he was going on a date. But he came back after the date and said, I should have read this before the date. Like, there you go, living in the hypothetical timeline. And he basically says, I should have made a move on this girl, but I didn't, because I was nervous. I should have done this better. Basically, I went on this platonic date that I wasted. And so what we get guys to focus on, and I said this to him, is like nothing was wasted. Focus on what you benefited from this. Like, what did you get from this? You got some experience, you got some practice, and now you know for next time, okay, I'll make a move. How will I do that? And you can start talking about that. Anytime you spend in the hypothetical timeline of like, I should have done this, or like when you focus on regrets and you sit there and say, I should have done this or I shouldn't have done that, you're literally not focusing on what you could do better next time. You think you are, but you're so busy looking backwards and beating yourself up for the past that you're not even thinking about the future. And so what we do is we say, fine, you think you should have done this better. Who gives a fuck? What are you going to do next time? Or what's one little change that you can make right this second to help your future self do it a little bit differently? Would rather see you focus either on the present now or the future and what you're going to do or what you could do right now, rather than looking backwards at some hypothetical timeline of like, I should have done this. It's literally wasted time. I think people think that focusing on regrets and beating themselves up and feeling shame and guilt is somehow productive. I just
Or
never found that
analysis.
it has been. Yeah. Yeah. Getting
Analysis.
caught up in
Because
analyzing.
you're
Yeah.
over analyzing. You're analyzing because it feels like progress. It feels like you're doing
It's
something, but you're
not.
not really.
It's
Like
just
like
not. Yeah.
sitting down and looking at what you did on your day is nowhere near as good in terms of action as getting back on the apps, messaging more girls, going out into the street, talking to girls, going to like bars, talking to girls at night. Those are all significantly better actions that will also make you feel better. Like if you're feeling bad about how a date went, the best thing you can go and do is approach, because you just feel so much better about yourself. You feel like you have options. You feel like a
Yep.
badass. Like
Yep.
that is significantly better than fucking around analyzing everything. And like
Yeah.
as I said, there is a place for like looking over, like getting a dude who knows what they're doing. Like if you have like bros who are really good at this, if you want to pay Andy or you want to like pay someone else who's good at this stuff, and having them look over things and make sure you're not doing anything fucking retarded, like that is valuable. But you doing it yourself when you're inexperienced, you don't know what you're fucking looking at, and you don't really know what the patterns are for success and all that stuff. There's no point. You're ruminating, which means you're not moving forward, and you're beating yourself up and self-flagellating. That's typically what we see. And like, as I
Mm.
have to keep giving like caveats, because people are like, no, I'm doing it for this. Like, no, I only give caveats to people who I see taking the appropriate amount of action, and like who are
Yep.
looking for, like, maybe like they're looking to get like to a really high level, or they're like looking for something that's hard. They're dating in like really hard, difficult areas. And so they're trying to optimize everything. Whereas guys who are just trying to lose their virginity or like date for the first time on the apps, like, we don't need to optimize. We just need to get you
Correct.
crunching numbers and getting experience. We just don't. There's
Yeah.
no need to optimize anything in the early stages at all.
Yeah. And a lot of the time people will like live in that hypothetical timeline of like, here's what I should have done. I should have done this differently. I should have done that. They'll overanalyze a date that they went on or a woman that they hit on. If you're going to analyze, because I know a lot of you want to sit there and beat yourself up for everything you did wrong and should have done, and I should have done this. Pick one thing that you think you can improve 1% next time. Don't sit there and go, I should have done this and I should have done that and I should have done that. Like, you're just going to get overwhelmed. You can't improve a
Yeah,
thousand
change
things at once.
variables. If you want to try and
Yeah,
change the
pick
variables,
one.
like
Pick
Andy and
one
I do
variable.
this thing for ages where we didn't make out with girls on the first date. It was like a variable that we chose to change. Like, we are not going to
Yeah,
make out with a girl on the first date because we feel
and
that
see what
if we don't
happens.
make out with them, there's more chance of seeing them on a second date. So to test that, we're just going to do
Yeah.
that from now on as a way. But you're not going to go in there and change 17 things and learn anything. Because, okay, this
But
time
that's
I'm
what
going to
most
open the
people
door for
do,
her,
dude.
and then I'm
Yeah.
going to pay for the drinks, and like change tons of variables. You aren't tracking anything to see if it, like, there's nothing there that like is valuable in terms of the information or analysis. It's all like instinct and like potluck and like you pulling shit out of your ass, like based on shit you've heard or like hunches you have. It's you talk about superstitions. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
have so many superstitions in datings that are just not founded in any sort of fact or data or anything. It's just shit you believe. It's
Yeah.
like, and I think there's power
Yeah.
in that sometimes, because like how hockey, like the sports people have superstitions that makes them more confident. Like that's the only, it's like a placebo. That's the only benefit of superstitions is like confidence placebo. But anyway, not the point.
Yeah, yeah. So many people have superstitions and they sit there in the shoulds. That's what I was trying to say before. They're like, I should have done this because I believe it would have worked better. And it's like, you don't know jack shit, man. Like, you don't know that your should would have been better. Like, people will wish that they were in that hypothetical timeline. Like, I wish I'd done this differently. How do you know that that timeline is any better than the current one? Like, maybe what you needed to go through was to crash and burn on a date so that you can learn some fucking humility, so that you can then go on to the next date with a bit more of a humble mindset. Maybe you need to go through this pain right now so that you can build some resilience. Maybe the reason you're suffering right now is because you're not very stoic, and so you needed to crash and burn on that date. But people will say, I wish I lived in a different hypothetical timeline where I had done the right thing and said the right thing and been a fucking perfect, confident alpha male. You don't know that that timeline would be any different. You're basically trying to play God and like imagining that you have a crystal ball and that you can see all different multiverses and hypothetical timelines, and that I know which one of those timelines is the best one. It's like, you don't know jack shit, man. Humble yourself. You are in this timeline right now. You did the thing that you did in the past. You don't have to sit there and regret that or beat yourself up or argue with it or say I should have done anything differently. Just look at this moment right now, look in the future, decide what you're going to do. Look back to the past occasionally. Maybe you learn something. But you and I say this all the time. Like, look at the past for maybe, I don't know, fucking 5%, 10% of your day. And then look at the present moment for like 80% of it. Look at the future for like 10% of it. Make up those numbers as you see fit. But some guys and girls live like 95% of their life in the past. They're regretting shit they did in high school when they're in their 30s. They're regretting their 20s when they're in their 40s. And it's like, come on, bro. At some point, we got to focus on this moment right now and maybe a little bit of the future. Stop living in the
Yeah,
hypothetical timelines.
agreed. I think that's everything.
If you're inexperienced, maybe you're even a virgin, you've probably been sitting around trying really hard to lose it and give yourself that beautiful, amazing sex life that you've always wanted. It's time to actually do this thing for real. Here's just a little taste of some of what we've helped our inexperienced clients achieve. Theo lost his virginity, had a bunch of sex, and even participated in an orgy. We helped Ravi lose his virginity at age 30 and go on to build the type of amazing sex life he never dreamed was possible. Jeff hadn't had sex in 9 years and ended up having sex within just 5 weeks of coaching. No matter what your experience level, if having more sex and having more wildly abundant, awesome, amazing sexual experiences with your intimate partner is something that's important to you, let us help. That's what we're here for. There's a link in the description below to the coaching. Click that and come and join us. But I promise you, if these clients can do it, you absolutely sure as hell can too.